Hello everyone, welcome back to our lecture series on power electronics. In this lecture, I am going to discuss on current commutated chopper. In previous lecture, I have started discussing on force commutated thyristor based chopper circuits. In that class, I have discussed, or in that lecture, I have discussed the voltage commutated chopper. Now today I am going to discuss on current commutated chopper. Now in previous lecture you have seen how voltage commutation is done. So what we do in voltage commutation for the thyristor, suppose this is a thyristor, this is the gate circuit. Once we apply the gate current Ig, once we apply the pulsed gate current Ig, then thyristor starts conducting and the load current flows through this thyristor. Now once the thyristor is conducted, then it loses its control over the gate. In order to turn off, if the natural current zero position is not available, in that case we have to go for force commutation. So we have seen that we have discussed that there are two types of force commutation technique. One is voltage commutation and number two is current commutation. In previous class I have discussed about this one, about the voltage commutation. What we have seen there, that if I apply a voltage in reverse bias, this is plus, this is minus. If I apply this voltage across this thyristor, then what will happen? The thyristor gets turned off, or this thyristor goes to the reverse blocking mode. Once it goes to the reverse blocking mode, then basically thyristor turns off. So this is the basic philosophy of voltage commutation for the thyristor. Now today I am going to discuss on the current commutation. Now in current commutation, what we do? In current commutation, we basically, suppose this is the I naught is the load current direction, we push a current in reverse direction. When we push a current in the reverse direction, suppose this is I1. The moment I1 is more than or equal to I0, then what is happening? The net current in this direction, if I say the net current in the forward direction, it goes to 0. The net current becomes 0. The moment the net current comes below the holding current, then the thyristor goes off. In another way, I can say that thyristor turns off. That is the basic philosophy of the current commutation or the current commutated thyristor. Now, what is in case of chopper application, what is the commutation circuit for current commutation? That we will discuss its analysis and the design part. We'll discuss here. So, first let us recap very slightly with the circuit of voltage commutation chopper that I have discussed earlier. From there, I will establish the current commutation circuit. So what is we have taken a buck converter. Similarly also today also I am going to take with that buck converter circuit. So if I similarly yesterday I have divided this total space. This side is for the circuit part, this side is for the waveform part, and this side I will just draw the circuit. So what was the previous circuit? So this is the thyristor, and say this is the diode, which is used for the freewheeling purpose. Okay, so now let us, the way I have drawn it, the load part, inductor, suppose a resistor, and back EMF E. This was the circuit. This is the buck converter, and what is at the input? There will be source voltage Vs. This is the source voltage Vs. Here it looks like diode, but this is a thyristor. Thyristor was Tu1, and this is the diode D. Now this was the buck converter. Once we give a gate pulse here, the thyristor is conducted, the current, load current flows through this, and the thyristor loses its control over gate. Then we need a circuitry for commutation purpose, or to turn off the thyristor if we don't have natural current zero position. Now what was the circuit? The circuit was such that first of all we need a charging circuit for the capacitor. We need a charging circuit, the RC, initial charging circuit. This circuit is needed at initial to charge the capacitor to its full voltage Vs with this polarity. With this polarity, this is the Vs. Along with that, we have drawn here, this is the diode, and inductor, and this was connected here. Along with this, there is another thyristor. This is the auxiliary thyristor, the thyristor used for the commutation purpose. There, we can directly connect it here also. There. So now this is TC. I have given a term. I have given the notation TC. This is DC. This is LC. This is the capacitor C. So this was voltage commutation circuit. Now what happened whenever we have turn on this circuit, then it is charged before the turning on this circuit, and whole analysis I have described in the previous lecture. You just follow that one if you have missed out. Now today I'll just show you what is the modification we will do here in order to convert this voltage commutated circuit, voltage commutation chopper circuit, to the current commutation chopper circuit. What we do, we will change the position of the diode. This diode position will be changed. What will be the diode position? That's first, let me erase it, then I will show you. This will be the inductor, and this will be the diode position. This is LC and DC. LC and DC position has changed, and there is a reverse direction, that is. And in addition, now where the thyristor will be connected, thyristor will be connected here. Thyristor will be connected here, and this part will not be connected here. This part will be connected here. Now if I redraw it, I can draw it like this. This is TC. Now this circuit becomes, and this one is not needed. Sorry. This circuit becomes current commutated thyristor, or current commutated chopper circuit. Now what is the operation here? How we operate? So you can see here, if I now before this thyristor T1 turn on, there will be a current flow through this. There will be a current flow through this. Okay, through this path. What will happen as a result? As a result, this capacitor will be charged with this polarity, and this voltage across the capacitor will be Vc. Now erasing there, I am writing there Vc, and the direction of the charge I am considering this is the IC, and that will be the positive direction I will consider. So now the capacitor will be charged with Vc, and once this Vc is become equal to the Vs, once this Vc become equals to the Vs, then this current goes to 0. Then no current flows through this. Now no current flows through this. So this is the initial condition. What happened here? The capacitor is charged fully with the value voltage of Vs, and the circuit is ready for operation. If we do not give gate pulse to the thyristor T1, then nothing will happen, it will remain as it is. Now, if the moment we give a gate pulse here, then what will happen? This thyristor will be turned on, and this circuit will become short circuited. This circuit will become short circuited. This is the first step 1. Step 1 is that Vc will be charged. If I say step 0, that means before circuit operation. Step 0 will be Vc will be charged with this one. At that time we are considering this is the IC direction, positive direction of the capacitor current. And in addition, when the step 1 is, this thyristor 1 is turned on. Now what is the direction of the load current at this time? The direction of the load current will be this. This is the load current, I naught. This is the load current, and the load current will flow unless until we try to turn off this thyristor. Now suppose I want to turn off this thyristor, what do I have to do? I have to provide a gate pulse here, that is the TC. The moment we provide a gate pulse here, then what happens? This is positively charged, this is negatively charged, there will be a current flow through this gate pulse. The moment I put a gate pulse here, then this thyristor will be turned on, this thyristor will be turned on, and this will be shorted, and there will be a current flow through this. What will happen? Gradually with the time there is the LC circuit, so there will be an oscillation, which oscillation will be created here. So as a result, from this polarity of the voltage, gradually the capacitor will discharge, inductor will charge first, and then inductor will discharge, capacitor will be charged. What will happen now? What outcome will happen? We will get, this is the positive polarity and this is the negative polarity of the capacitor. So basically the polarity of the capacitor will be reverse. So this is, if I say this is step 1, this one will be the step 2. Okay, this one will be step 2. Now what will happen as a result? Now whenever this is the positive polarity, obviously this diode will be turned on, this diode will be forward biased. The moment the diode will be forward biased, there will be a current flow through this diode. This is the direction. In this direction there will be a current flow through this diode. Now suppose say this is step 3. In this step, the moment the current starts flowing, so basically this is what? This is I naught. What is this current? IC suppose say. So what will be IT? IT1, which will be I naught minus IC. So the moment IC will be greater than I naught or equals to, then this IT will be 0. IT1 will be 0. The moment the current through IT1, the current through T1 goes below the holding current, the thyristor will be turned off. So as a result, this will be turned off and this will be open circuited. The moment this goes to the open circuited, now this is step 4 will be the load current cannot flow through this. Immediately the load current will get a path through which it will flow. That path is, let me draw from this side. This will be the path of the load current, I naught. So basically I naught will flow through the capacitor. When the I naught will start flowing through the capacitor, then basically the capacitor will again charged in the, initially the capacitor will be discharged and then the capacitor will be again charged in the, with the reverse polarity. This will be the polarity. And the moment this VC with this polarity, the VC goes to the VS, this VC goes to the equal to the VS, basically the circuit will be turned off, the current will be 0, I naught will be equals to 0. When this I naught goes to 0, then as there is an inductor current cannot be rapidly goes to 0, then we need a path, it will take a path and there is a freewheeling path. So if I say this is step 1, 2, 3, if this is the step 4, this will be step 5. So these are the 5-step operations of this circuit. This is the operation of the current commutator chopper. Now let us understand the same thing using waveform. What are the waveforms will be? First I will draw similarly. I will draw here first Ig1 and time t, then Ig2 versus time t, sorry, Igc, that is current through Tc, sorry, gate current, gate current for the Tc, this is the gate current for the T1, not current through. So first important one is the IC, that is the capacitor current. The behavior of the capacitor current we have to first understand, and along with this we have to understand the VC, the voltage across the capacitor. In addition, let us understand the IT1. These are the major waveform we have to understand. Rest part the way I have drawn it in the previous lecture. Similarly, you can draw the other part. This is basically VT1, ITC and VTC. These are the important parts we have to first understand. This will explain the total operations. So let us first, initially the capacitor is fully charged. Whenever we are applying Ig here, there is a two portion there, we are applying Ig. Now here we are applying IGC. This is IG1 and IGC. We are applying. This is for turning off the gate. This is for turning on the. This is the gate current for turning on the T1. This is we are applying IGC for turning off the T1. So what will happen in case of IC? Initially there will be no current flow through this one. Now in that time let me clarify one thing. Let me clear these things. Few things let me clarify. That is, initially what is the polarity? This polarity was this one. What is the positive direction of the IC? This is the positive direction of the IC I am considering here. So now initially when both are off, when both the circuit are off, whenever the moment we give T1 here, the pulse to the T1, this goes short circuited and the load current flows through this. The load current flows through T1. So basically initially we will get the load current flow through this. Let me note it down this part. So first there will be continuous load current till we turn off this one. This is I naught. Now the moment till we turn on the GC or sorry TC, still this will continue. What will be the VC? VC will hold on the voltage positive VS. That is plus Vs will be hold on by the Vc. This will hold on the positive polarity and current through this one will be 0. There will be no current flow through, so therefore the current through this one is 0. Up to this, the moment we turn on this gate, that means this is the short circuited. Now the things starts playing. What happens? This is the load current is flowing here and there is a current flow which is opposite direction to the conventional IC we have considered. This is the conventional IC we have considered. Now this is the opposite direction of IC. There is a current flow through this. So how that will be? That will be the negative direction. This will go to the negative direction. Where it will go? Let me discuss this part little later. Now what will be? This is the first step. So this increases, goes to positive and it goes to 0. When it goes to 0, that means from Vs, from this positive Vs to, let me draw it here, this is the peak value. So here it will go to 0 and this is the position where it is going to 0. Here it will be minus Vs. This is minus Vs. So from positive Vs to negative Vs, this will be after some time this will be plus, this will be minus, this polarity will be reversed. Now the moment the polarity goes to reverse, this current goes to 0 and then the current starts flowing through this. That is our conventional positive direction. Now current goes to the IC goes to positive. Yeah. Now the moment it goes to positive direction and the current becomes equal to I naught. Now if you see here, they are basically I naught minus IC is flowing. Now IC is gradually increasing and after some time IC will reach at its peak value. The moment this IC reaches to I naught, IC reaches to I naught or it goes beyond greater than this, greater than or equal to I naught. Whenever this reaches, basically this will turn off the thyristor T1. Thyristor T1 will be turned off. So now the circuit is open, this current will not flow. Now what will happen? The load current will flow through the capacitor. So basically this current I can consider this is the load current I naught. Now load current is flowing. What will happen to the voltage Vs? Now previously this was plus minus, and then gradually it will change to 0 here. Suppose this is the positive, at this position it will be 0, it will reach to 0. Then this voltage will continue to grow in opposite direction. Now and it will reach here, suppose say plus Vs again. So now this one is growing. What will happen? As a result, the current through the load, that is I naught, this will start decreasing, and it will start decreasing here. Sorry. Draw the axis. This part. So whenever it is reaching maximum value, it is decreasing and it is reaching to the 0. So whenever it reaches to the 0, this will be maximum and it will hold the voltage. This positive voltage will be hold on by this. Then this will be plus, this will be minus, this will hold on, and next step is basically freewheeling through the diode. Next step during this part, the diode will be freewheeled. The current will be freewheeled through the diode. So this is IC. Now let us understand about the IT1. IT1 will happen initially during this process. Basically IT conducts. Now whenever this goes to, this is the direction, that means the positive direction. During this time, at this time this current starts flowing down. This will continue till this will be I naught, and then here whenever this is going to positive 0, gradually it is going to positive 0, and this will start decaying to 0, this process. As it is from 0 to this peak value, that means equals to I naught, this is growing, this will be 0, and then it will remain turned off I naught. So I naught goes to 0 here. So this is the basic operation of this one. The rest part you just do it similarly the way I have done it in previous class. Similarly you can do it. So this is the turn off process using current commutation. Now let us find out the value LC and C. These are the two values we have to find out. Now if we can find out that we can denote this one time t1, t2, t3, t4. This way we can denote this one. Suppose say this one is t1, and let's say this is t2, this is t3, this is t4, this is t5, t6. That way we can this T4 is the basically commutation time for the thyristor, and if we talk about the commutation time for the total circuit commutation time is this much. That means that is the point where the commutation started, and this is the whole time is for the commutation time for the whole circuit. And if we talk about the commutation time for the thyristor is this part, this much, T4. So let us denote this one by Tc. I will denote this by T4 by Tc, and this one, suppose any other the T or Tm, something like that. I'll tell. Let's say Tm this part, and this will be denoted by Tc. So how to derive? She. Now if I see look at the IC expressions. So yeah, this is a sinusoidal. You can see this is a sinusoidal behavior. So we can write this is ICP, that is the peak value. This value, this one, or this one, suppose say this is the peak value. ICP sine omega naught t. This is the expression. Now what is ICP? ICP can be written as Vs by omega naught Lc. Vs by omega naught Lc. What is the omega naught? Omega naught equals to 1 by root of Lc. Because there is a LC oscillatory circuit, this because of the oscillations, this is the frequency of the oscillations in the LC circuit. So that gives this one. Now if I establish the condition, suppose at this point, whenever the thyristor is turned off, this is the point. At this point, what is the condition at which this will be turned off? That is, ICP should be greater than or equal to I naught. That is the condition for the turn off. If ICP is less than the I naught, then basically this one will not be able to turn off. In that case, IT1 will not be equal to 0 if this condition is not satisfied. So therefore, in order to satisfy these conditions, in order to satisfy this one, we have to get this condition. Now this will be one condition for the design purpose, design objective. Now with these conditions, if I start deriving this one more thing let me discuss here. That is, at this point, what is the value of this IC? The IC value is I naught. I naught is the value of IC. If I take from this is the 0 position, from 0 to I naught is the magnitude, from 0 to I naught, this is the ICP sinusoidal of omega naught t, and that is what is the t? T equals to T4. Now let us take T4 equals to Tc. This is the commutation time of the thyristor, Tc, and Tm, which is equals to, what is that? T2 plus T3 plus T4. T2 plus T3 plus, okay, let me, Tm, this is the total time of the commutation time for the total circuit. T2 plus T3 plus T4. What is the T2 plus T3? This time is basically the pi, this distance. This is pi and this is Tc. So basically this can be written as the pi plus Tc. If I take this T4 equals to Tc. So pi plus Tc is the Tm, total commutation time of the circuit. Now these are the expressions. If we use it, we will be able to derive the conditions. Now let us derive it in expression. So what was the condition? That ICP should be greater than or equals to I naught. And what is ICP? ICP is equals to Vs by omega naught Lc. And what is omega naught? If I replace it the omega naught, this will be Vs into root over of C by Lc. This will be the ICP. Now one more expression we can find it out, that If I replace this part here, we will get some expressions, that is Vs into root over of C by Lc, which should be greater than or equal to I naught. This is one condition, we will use it. Next, there's one expression we have found out, that is I naught equals to ICP sine of omega naught Tc. I naught equals to ICP sinusoidal of omega naught Tc. So if I express this one, if I take out the Tc from, if I find out the Tc here, expression here, this will be I naught by ICP, which is equals to sinusoidal of omega naught Tc. In another way, Tc equals to 1 by omega naught sine inverse of I naught ICP. This is the expression of the Tc, provided if we know the value of L and C, or omega naught I naught ICP. Now if we condition, if this omega naught value is known, then and if the I naught is equals to ICP, or suppose say ICP equals to x time of I naught, then we can find out I naught by ICP equals to 1 by x. We can, if the x is known to us, we can put this value of x, we can find out this value and omega naught. And if they are equal, in that case this will be I naught by ICP will be 1, and we will get this part will be the pi by 2, so basically pi by 2 omega naught. This will be the expression Tc. So we have to have the information of omega naught. Now from there, if we replace this Tc to these expressions, what we can find out, that is, in another way, if we find out here, that is the omega naught, which is equals to 1 by Tc sine inverse, this is I naught by ICP. It may be either 1 or 1 by x. These are the two informations I have given. So what is omega naught? Omega naught equals to root over of Lc. Omega naught equals to, in another way I can find out from there. These expressions, the omega naught can be found out in this way, that is Vs by I naught, if we ICP equals to I naught, if we consider this equals to Lc. Omega naught equals to Vs by I naught Lc. This equals to 1 by Tc sine inverse I naught by ICP. Now from there, if we take out Lc, our objective is to find out the Lc value. Lc will be equals to, so what will the value, this will come here, so this will be Vs into Tc by I naught into sine inverse of I naught by ICP. Now if this is 1 by x, so we can put it here 1 by x, either this is 1 by x, or if it is 1, then this will be pi by 2, so we can write it like that, Vs into Tc by I naught pi, suppose that 2. This one is the Lc expressions. So we have found out the Lc expressions here, so we can use this one to find out the value of C. We can use this expression to find out the value of C. If provided, the very important thing is, if ICP equals to I naught, in this condition only this expression is valid. Otherwise This is the expression. Now let us find out the C. How we can find out the C? From this expression. So here, what is the C expression? C by LC root is greater than equals to I naught by Vs. Now C equals to, greater than equals to C greater than equals to, this is equals to I naught by Vs square LC. Now put this LC expression here, we will get the final expression of C. C should be greater than equals to, this will be Vs, so basically I naught by Vs, this one into one more part Vs by I naught, this will be there is a square, one part will be cancel out, into here if I find out this is the Tc by sine inverse of I, this would, it may be 1 or 1 by x, or this one, or if I solve this, we will get it I naught by Vs into Tc by pi by 2, 2Tc by pi. This is one. Or let us remove this part. I think you understood this part, how we are going to get it. Let us simplify. This is I naught by Vs. This is one expression. This is one expression. If we consider this one, and this is another expression if we consider that I naught equals to ICP. So now this is the design of this one, of whole part. So this is all about the design and description of current commutator chopper. So I think you can solve the problem. So if it is asked to find out the total time of commutation, which I have explained here, is the Tm, is the pi plus Tc. Once you find out the Tc, this will be added with the pi, you can find out that. How to find out the Tc, that is what I have given here. This is how you can find out the Tc. And if C and LC, it is, you can find out. If you are asked to find out ICP value, maximum value of the capacitor or maximum value of the inductor, that you can find out from here. So, and maximum value of the voltage, capacitor voltage, that is the Vs, that is also you can find out. So from this expression, so mostly you can find out these things, whatever the questions it will be asked. I hope